Hey guys, my name is Kayla Rain, and today I'm here for Top 5 Wednesdays, and the theme this Wednesday is books with a mental health theme. Top 5 Wednesdays was created by Lainey over at Ginger Reads Lainey, and I will link her YouTube channel and the Goodreads group in the down bar below for you guys to check out. Now, I've actually already done a video recommending books that deal with mental health and mental illness and all that wonderful stuff, so I wanted to bring in some new books along with some old ones that I just really wanted to recommend again. Just because I feel like some of them are still really relevant, but I really wanted to focus on books that had a positive message about mental health and just taking care of yourselves, rather than focusing specifically on a mental illness and someone's journey through that. I wanted to look at books that had a really positive message on that and just really explored how people were taking care of themselves and staying mentally well. Those are the types of books that I'm going to focus on today, instead of focusing on ones that are just looking into mental illness, which there's nothing wrong with that, but since I've already kind of done a video on that, I wanted to do something different. As usual, I'll start with my number 5 pick and work my way down to my number 1. So my number 5 pick is going to be Wild by Cheryl Strayed, and this is actually an autobiography by Cheryl Strayed, and it is about her time on the Pacific Crest Trail, and it just kind of chronicles her time on the trail as well as looking at her past life when she was going through a lot of different really rough things. This book was just really beautifully written from the standpoint of she took time from the life she was living before to go out on this trail and just be herself, take care of herself, and make sure that she was giving herself what she needed emotionally and mentally, and that was just a really beautiful message. Now, I'm not saying that you have to just drop your entire life and go out on a trail and hike for a few months to be mentally well, but I appreciated that Cheryl took into account what she needed to be her best self and to give herself what she needed mentally, that she went ahead and did this. And then she wrote about it, and it was just really beautiful. And I also highly recommend the movie with Reese Witherspoon. She was phenomenal. My number 4 pick is one that you guys have probably already seen, and that is going to be Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell. And I am not going to touch on any of the mental health issues in here. I'm just going to touch on the fact that this book has a really positive message on taking care of yourself and getting to where you need to be, especially with Kath, because there are so many times in this book where she struggled with anxiety and just being able to do everything she wanted, and she was just stressed with all that. And I love how this book explored how she had a coping mechanism for that, and she was able to relax and just give herself the time she needed to be a happy person. And this book just really explores that, and I loved it because it did it in such a light manner that I feel like is really accessible for everyone, because I know not everyone just wants to sit down and read a book about mental illness or mental health. Maybe it won't interest you as much as someone like me who specifically got a job in the mental health field, because I love it. So this book, totally accessible for everyone, especially if you are part of a fandom. My number 3 pick is going to be Everything That Makes You by Mariah McStay, and I thought that this book really provided a great positive message about loving yourself no matter who you are and what your life struggles are. This is a story told from 2 point of views from the same person, which sounds weird, but it's what would happen if the main character of this book hadn't gotten into an accident and burned half of her face and scarred it, and then what actually did happen with all that. And it is just written in this really wonderful manner, and I kind of wish that it was just one story, because it is a little bit long for what it is, but I did enjoy it. I think that the message in this is really positive about loving yourself, taking care of yourself, and accepting all of your flaws as just beautiful parts of who you are, because I'm one of those gushy people who thinks that you should just find beauty in everything and just be happy and try to live life positively. Obviously, that is not possible at all times, and even I have my days where I'm just like, what a load of crap, Kayla Rain. But I realize that I need to love myself, I need to see the beauty in life, and I need to have a positive outlook so I can have a positive, happy life. And this book really drives that home. My number 2 pick is going to be The Sky is Everywhere by Jandy Nelson, and I feel like everyone has read I'll Give You the Sun by Jandy Nelson, which I have read and I enjoyed, but I love this one so much more. And this deals with loss, and it does it in such a truthful way. Like, I legitimately felt like I had lost my sister when reading this book, because the way Jandy Nelson wrote it was just so poetically beautiful and touching that I felt it. And I loved how this dealt with all the family dynamics with that, and just really had a great message about dealing with loss and moving on with your life through all of that. And I really love this. So I think this could be very therapeutic for anyone who has went through loss in the past and is still trying to work through that. And it's just something that really touched me. This was just a really beautifully written book, and I enjoyed it very much, and thought that the message that it had was really positive and uplifting, even for such a dark subject as losing someone close to you. Unfortunately, there is a case of insta-love in here that is super annoying, but the rest of the book is pretty good. And finally, my number one pick is going to be The Second Summer of the Sisterhood by Anne Brashers. And this book specifically, I'm talking about Bridget here. She's just going through a whole lot, and just definitely diving into what her mom went through and working through all that. But the message in this book was so positive and wonderful, and I think that one of the big things in life is just having a really great support system that you can fall back on. And that obviously isn't going to cure all of your issues, but the thing is if you don't have someone that you can fall back on and know is going to lift you up when you're feeling down, it makes life so much harder. So I think that this book just really explored relationships in such a beautiful way, and not even romantic relationships, just friendships and family. And I love it. I love this entire series because there are so many positive, wonderful messages in it, especially with friendship. But the way it explores family dynamics, it explores loss, romantic relationships, growing up, all that great stuff. And it just really touches on mental health and being mentally well in such a wonderful way that I think everyone should read this book because it is so wonderful. Okay guys, that has been it for Top 5 Wednesdays. Sorry I didn't give you great descriptions of the books as far as what the plot line was, but I just really wanted to focus on why I thought they would be great for mental health reads, specifically in the positive messages that they send. Because while The Bell Jar by Sylvia Plath is really a wonderful book that deals with mental illness, it doesn't have the most positive spin on things, and since I already did a video that focused on some of the other stuff with mental illness and mental health in books, I wanted to do this one that was a little bit more positive and happy and uplifting to share with you guys, because I like that. So I hope you did too. As always guys, thank you so much for watching. Stay weird.